You know, for most of us moms, and definitely this is me, weeds in the garden are just pests that need pulling up. They get in the way of growing proper plants. But today's guest, wild food advocate Diego Bonetto, feels differently. And he's joining us to tell us which common weeds in our front yards and on our sidewalks are actually good to eat. Diego, thanks for coming in and joining us here today.
Thank you for having me, Rachel.
I'm very excited because as I was pulling out of my driveway today, I could see all of the weeds, and I thought, okay, when I come back and see these weeds again, I'm going to look at them differently. So,
okay.
All right,
Many of them may still be weeds when you go back.
Okay. So don't eat everything that I see.
No.
Okay. Well, I just want to know, living in a modern society where we can easily go to the grocery store, why would we go outside and pick weeds and find them for food?
I think it's more of a case of just becoming aware of whatever is available, becoming aware of our ecology, of our surroundings, and all of the plants living around us. And like many people who come to my workshop and learn about what I have to say, which is old knowledge, by the way, and they just become better gardeners.
Okay.
They just realize that, you know, whatever they've seen as useless space, all of a sudden is a big display of food.
So do you have to be a gardener to be interested in foraging weeds, or is this for everybody?
It's for everybody, absolutely. What you will need to do is have some sort of empathy and some sort of understanding how to recognize plants.
Exactly, like we can't just go and pick anything. We need to know.
No,
Right.
you wouldn't.
I love this idea. You're saying we need to have empathy. Like, why are you saying we need to have empathy for plants, not just seeing them as pests and starting
Because seeing as a pest is not going to stop them.
Okay. This is very...
But by seeing them with some use and some possibility, all of a sudden you have a new friend.
Yeah.
So,
I'm leaning into this. I'm getting kind of excited. So I know you've said dandelions are one of the oldest and most beneficial.
Absolutely. Dandelions
we
is
have.
one of the most respected medicinal plants in the world, both Eastern and Western medicine.
Well, what does it help with?
Dandelion is much respected as a detox plant.
Right down your alleyway.
So we do need to detox as humans.
You do?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's dandelions is much used. You can still buy dandelions coffee at the supermarket these days, which is much appreciated. It's bitter and it helps to just cleanse the liver and the kidney. So, yeah, so that's old knowledge that
Just remember, I have a dandelion tea at home. I'd
There you
never
have
thought
it.
about that before.
Yeah, you have dandelion tea. You also
Yeah.
have dandelions outside of your doorstep.
Yeah.
Could I make them into tea?
You can, you just need to harvest them.
Okay. So
Harvest.
by harvest, you mean pick? Like we just need to go outside and...
Pulling them out, pull out
Nothing
by the
special
roots.
to do?
No, not really. You just need to pull them up. You need to harvest the roots of the dandelions for what they call coffee, and dandelion coffee. And you harvest the roots and you clean it, and then you just put it under the grill for 40 minutes. Domestic grills, domestic ovens usually go down to 80 degrees usually. So you just slowly roast the roots on a grill. Keep an eye on it. If it burns, it's going to taste like burnt coffee. and that's it. You just lightly roast for 20 to 40 minutes, depends how good is you're having, and that's it. Then you put in a airtight containers, that would be it.
You know, Diego, even in the few minutes you've been here, you've already got me a little bit excited about weeds that I've never felt before. So how did you start this passion for foraging?
I started when I was a young boy. I grew up in a farm.
And you're from...
I grew up in Italy.
Italy?
Yeah, I have an accent and didn't grow up in Australia. So I grew up in Italy in a dairy farm, and that's what I used to do. When we were kids, we were going out and collect dandelions, actually.
So
Dandelions
did your parents send you out to collect them? Or?
Absolutely. As a job, me and sisters, off you go and get the dandelions in springtime. And that's how I learned.
How did they teach you? I mean, did you ever... pick the wrong thing, or did your parents go out and teach
Absolutely.
you?
We came back with bags full of all sorts of things. Not this, not this, not this. This is what you want. But
Okay.
eventually you get the hang of it.
And that's what you teach at your workshops, what to look for when you're
Absolutely.
foraging?
Yeah.
And what is edible,
Yeah.
what is medicinal?
Yeah, probably one of the most important things you teach in the workshop is to relax. It's just
To relax.
Relax. There's nothing out there that's gonna kill you. There's nothing out there.
Nothing?
Is that true?
it's more likely you're gonna die if you cross the road. Watching the traffic light, yeah. But
Because you pick near train lines as well. Because I know you did some work out in my wood in Casula Powerhouse Arts Centre out in Southwest Sydney.
Yeah.
But I know that you did some wild
food workshops over there. Yeah, on the abandoned golf course,
Yeah.
Casula Park.
With the train lines and
absolutely, which is an
So there's
amazing
stuff
place.
everywhere.
There's stuff everywhere.
There's stuffs everywhere. Yeah.
Is there different types of weeds in different places of Sydney or
Yes, yes.
in your backyard?
And you'll be surprised how much similarities there are.
Right.
The usual suspects are pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
And yes, certain spaces for certain things at certain times of the year. Absolutely.
So you've got some stuff here. Can we have a look at it?
Absolutely.
Maybe not try it, but have a look at it. I'm scared.
You can look at it, absolutely. So I brought in a couple of things. One, this is Forager greens. This is a native spinach. This is commonly seen at the beach and all over the places.
Okay.
And it was brought in by one of your staff because she wanted to know about it. So this grows all over the beaches.
So you can cook
put that
this
in
just like
salad?
spinach?
Yeah, in salad, it's usually cooked.
Boil it?
Yeah, it's usually cooked just as a spinach.
So you could just replace it with spinach.
You can replace spinach with
With it,
that,
with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's been doing, yeah. This is another very interesting one. This is also native, so wild food, what I teach is just become aware of all of the food possibilities all around. And this is a common trees in our streets. It's ripeberry, it's related to lily pillies. Tastes quite sour and...
So nothing's going to happen to me if I...
No, absolutely. I couldn't help it.
Go, Rach.
You go first.
I go first. I need plenty of this. This is the last of the season.
Right.
Try it. It's sour with a cloying aftertaste.
Definitely tastes like nature.
So can you eat lily pillies? You mentioned them before.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
They're absolutely everywhere.
okay.
We used to love lily pillies. In Australia, we used to make lily pilly jam, lily pilly
wow.
jellies.
I feel so uncultured.
There's a connection to the culture, isn't there, with foraging?
There is
Are
a
we
connection.
losing that culture? Are we losing being in touch with our environment?
One thing that which is quite surprising is that all of this 3 generations ago was common knowledge.
Right.
So our grandmothers would not need me, funny guy with funny accent, to tell her what a dandelion looks like. Yeah, and all our grandmothers would have known it. Yeah, wherever you're from, wherever cultures you're from, 3 generations ago was common knowledge.
So what has changed?
Have changed that 2 generations ago it became unpopular. Supermarket cultures, industrial agriculture, it was became uncool to pick things from the wild.
Right.
It became a sign of poverty to pick things from the wild. So
what's changing now that there's this resurgence and interest in it?
now we're just finding out that whatever we chucked away, we want it back. Now we're doing workshop to learn how to pickle.
Oh.
Now we're doing workshop to learn how to bake bread. Now we do workshop to learn
Stuff they did back in the generations
how to
of our
garden. 3 generations ago, you didn't need to do a workshop how to garden. Everyone had a garden. So it's
So who's
just
coming to your classes?
who comes to my
Yeah.
classes. There's quite a range of people. There's a lot of young families. Young families come a lot because there's a lot of people that become aware whenever they have kids that we need to just rethink the way we engage with environment resources and our ecologies.
And even having a sustainable environment, living off our land.
You know, I have loved spending this time with you. You have totally changed my perspective on weeds and how to look at them. So I'm going to go back in my driveway and look at those weeds a little bit differently today.